Steady D. If it ain't going down at the Bunny Ranch, it ain't going down at all.
It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down, going down, going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch.
Yeah. Like you just did right now, live.
Oh, wait, we're live now?
Welcome back to the Bunny Ranch podcast. I'm James, and today, from Sagebrush Ranch and the former Love Ranch, Juniper Jones. Welcome on in, Juniper.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I miss Love Ranch.
Yeah, I got her leaning back and like, see that, guys?
A good morning stretch for me.
If you're listening on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that, make sure you guys go check out the YouTube and see that because it's hilarious. So I literally just woke her up a little while ago because she's slept in.
Oh gosh, yeah. I felt super bad. He called into my room. It was like 12:47. He's like, "Are you awake?" And I was like, I turned off my alarm because it was still going off. And I was like, no. I was like, but I can be. Hold on. I was like, I just need my lemonade and soda water, wake myself up. Get that vitamin C first thing in the morning. That's what it's all about.
No, it's definitely true. You got to get that morning perk up, whether it's coffee, vitamin C, the D, whatever the case may be, right? All that rhymed. See that?
It's funny because whenever I think of coffee, I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
A lot of people do, and it's kind of funny because I'm from Seattle, so that's like that, big mecca of it. It's a hub for it. Starbucks came from Seattle.
Yep. I've been to the first one.
But whenever I think of coffee now, because I went camping years ago with this gal, and she said this thing, and she was like, the difference between coffee and orange juice is, do I want to go to the bathroom now, or do I want to go to the bathroom later? So whenever I think of coffee, I think of that.
I was in the military, so like coffee is like everything.
That's life. That's
it's like you drink a shit ton of coffee, energy drinks. You're just awake all the damn time.
They work you hard in the military too, man. You'll be working like 48 hours straight.
Technically, never. They never did.
Oh God, yeah, of course not. No.
Never had to stay awake all the time. But never had to stay awake. But we're digressing here. Let's get to the real subject here. Who the fuck are you?
Well, I mean, I've definitely hippied out a lot more as I'm getting older.
Yeah.
I'd say that, like, I feel like I used to be a little bit more uptight, and now I'm just kind of like, I could hang my hammock anywhere and just like go sleep in the woods. And then actually, okay, so I did have my birthday recently.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much. I'm not ashamed to say my age. I'm 29 years old, so acting career out the window, but I've still got a lot of pizzazz.
I mean, some actors started way late in life. I mean, you can get there.
It's just a spin-off of the joke from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh,
remember? And
it's been a long time. Man,
he's like, you're only 24. He's like, you've got at least 5 more years, of acting. So I think of that. But I went camping for my birthday, and I met this dog, and I was super stoked about it. Beautiful golden retriever. I'll have to send you a picture if you want to show other people.
I remember, you showed me a picture.
Yesterday,
yesterday.
And it's also on my Twitter, too, because I was really stoked about it, because I'm standing, and I had finished setting up my hammock, and I'm just kind of standing there, and I just hear, Junie, Junie, Junie. And that's what Olivia used to call me, and that Destiny still calls me Junie. And so, like, I remember over at Love, like, there would be girls, like, running down the hallway, and they would just be like, Junie, Junie. Like, so I hear this, and I'm looking around everywhere. Like, I'm like, what? Like, I'm here. Like a dog. And then this beautiful golden retriever comes out of nowhere, and it was like, honestly, our eyes met. I thought it was destiny. Like, not actually destiny. But so then they're like, oh, the dog's name is Juniper. And I was like, I'm in love. This is beautiful. So golden retriever puppy, like a year and a half. And I was like, this is my missing piece right here.
What are the odds? What are the odds of you finding a dog named Juniper?
The day after my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, because technically, so I've worked on my actual birthday. But that was perfect because, I mean, it's the second birthday I've spent at the houses.
Yeah.
And every birthday that I've spent here has honestly been just like one of my best birthdays. I've always had a great time celebrating birthdays, holidays, everything here. It's so, after so long, everybody becomes family.
No, I agree.
And it's just like, then it's just, me hanging out with my family. Like, I always tell people that I have so many moms. They wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, I know. I've celebrated, this will be the fifth birthday that I've celebrated with the company. So
Really?
Yeah, this will be the fifth one, yeah.
Well, happy birthday. But your birthday's not for a little bit.
It's in less than 2 weeks.
What? Oh, well, happy birthday. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you were January.
Nope, August 17th. So yeah,
Wow.
I'll be celebrating it during a tea party.
You're also a Leo then, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Yep, celebrating during a tea party. Yeah, but I agree. Because birthday celebrations, like some people who come here, a lot of people don't know. Like some ladies have never celebrated a birthday before, so it was never people who ever cared. Some people have never celebrated Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And that's why we put on our big show. We bring out all the different types of food.
We'd also be open to celebrating Hanukkah,
Yes.
but or any other holiday.
Every religious holiday, everything in general. We celebrate the majority of what we can. Obviously, the big ones that we can. July 4th, obviously, things like that. And it's really cool to see, like, especially someone like on Christmas, right? When they get a present. And they're like, I've never celebrated Christmas before. I've never gotten a present before. And you're like, really? Oh my God. And like, and that's when, and I've seen it over the years, like so many different ladies, because they've come from all different walks of life.
Yeah.
And it's like you were saying, it's like a family. And that kind of just brings me back to like, I think it was at either Sage or Love Ranch when one girl told us that when we were putting up the Christmas tree and putting out presents.
Oh.
I think it was Love Ranch, actually. Yeah, because I was helping do one of their trees and decorate one year. Actually, it might have been the year before we closed, so 2019, and we were doing that, and I forget who it was. Someone just walked up and she's like, I've never celebrated and got presents. We're like, really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then we ended up getting her a couple presents and putting it down there for her, but it was really interesting because after so many years of the company, I'm like, yeah, I get that. I've seen that,
Yeah.
And it's
big
really
deal.
good.
Yeah.
And we celebrate anyone's birthdays. We usually celebrate twice a month. So once in the beginning, if you're the 1st through the 15th, and then 15th through the 31st is the second half of the month.
I know. I'm super lucky because my birthday is the 31st.
Yeah.
So then it was like, I got a cake that day. Or no, I got a cake that Friday. And then one of the drivers got me a cake too. Because, I think actually it was just, he's very nice. But I'm nice to all of the new employees that we get and stuff. I try to make them feel comfortable because it's very intimidating for, especially gentlemen to come in and work that job. And they don't know how to approach us and talk to us because they want to respect our boundaries and everything. And so, I was like, here, I'll set up HBO and you can watch HBO in the kitchen. And it's nice. But we always have such a good staff. I've loved everybody here for years. Yeah. And we even just had a longtime employee very close to all of our hearts finally retire the way that she deserved.
Third time,
yeah. I know we want her back still, but we're like, okay, I guess we got to let you have it this round. But it was so sweet yesterday. Yeah, we did the whole thing. Oh, man.
Yeah, she used to be the madam of Miss Kitty's before we bought the property way back in the day. Before it was even BunnyRanch 2 or what was called Love Ranch North eventually. That used to be Miss Kitty's cat house, and she was the madam for a long time.
That's so awesome.
And then we bought it. She stayed madam until they changed it. Well, actually, even then after they changed it, because you'll even hear like in some of the episodes of like the HBO Cat House, Madam Suzette will refer to her as Madam Jan. So like it's an interesting mix from what everything I've heard. So, and to see her over the years, because like just in general the 5 years I've been with the company, to see her kind of soften a little bit, which is really hard to believe because she's definitely not a soft person. And she's so sweet and great. And
she's like the tiniest feisty bee.
Yeah. And then to see her do all of her crazy stunts because she went on the pole yesterday. She was dancing.
Oh my gosh, she put her feet behind her head, and I was like, I really, whatever she's doing, I need to do that because if I can do that at her age, I'm gonna be stoked.
Oh yeah.
I know grown women who can't do that now.
No, I agree.
I'd be surprised if I think I can, but I don't know. I'm pretty athletic, but I don't think I stretch that way. I can run uphill really well, but I mean, if you're talking about certain things, I gotta kind of warm up, I guess. I gotta finesse my body a little bit.
So now, not to divert from Jan, because I really wouldn't want to, because we could probably go on for hours.
I know, yeah.
But I was thinking about the dog, and I was like, when we filmed your video originally, we found a dog as well.
Yeah.
Out in literally the desert.
They come to me.
We ended up saving that dog because it was lost, and the owner eventually came and got it.
His name was Jake.
It was Jake. Yeah,
I still remember that.
And I called the guy, and he came down and got it.
It's like a Brittany Spaniel or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful dog.
Yeah, so if you watch her video,
you'll see me pet the dog.
You'll see an actual dog, and it's a dog that randomly we found out there that just kept following us around, and we grabbed it and we checked its collar, and I called the. I even told Madam said, I'm like, hang on, we'll be back in a little bit.
We're gonna be a minute.
I'm extending the shoot a little longer because And as soon as I told her it was a dog, she's like, "Okay, hang on, we're good."
Yeah, we're all dog lovers here.
Yeah. So
no, I remember that day because we were up on the hillside and we had just gotten to that kind of that top area.
Yep.
Because we were in Dayton. They have like this old mining thing. It's a cool spot, but we were up there, and then I remember I looked to you, and I was like, "Is that a dog?" And then I was like,
"I know, yeah."
I was like, "That's a dog."
You just see this brown thing moving in the desert, and
it blended in. Yeah, it was like the same color.
And then we tried to approach it; it ran away. And then when we moved to another part of the area where it was a little more green, it came down there and was watching us. And I'm like, "Okay, it's a little friendly." And then eventually it came up.
It jumped in that puddle thing, and then it was all wet. And we're trying to like look at its collar and like I remember like we didn't have anything to like.
I had nothing.
We're trading off because you had the camera with you and everything, and we're trading off trying to hold this dog by the collar.
Yeah, just to get the phone number so we can call the owner.
And the dude was stoked. Yeah, he was really happy.
Yeah, he was shocked that the dog made it that far.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know. He was like, he was in the yard, and then he just took off.
He just wasn't. Yeah. He felt my presence. Actually, it's funny. I was talking to Haley about this the other day, and I think I have like, so I think I'm psychic, but just about dogs. So I was in the parking lot
at
CVS. Yeah, I'm driving through the parking lot, and I have this moment where I'm sitting there. I just turn off my car, and I'm like, wait. Something's here. Like I just have like kind of one of those like intuition moments.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking around and I'm like, I don't see anything. And I'm like, that's weird. Like I just have like this weird feeling. So then I get out of my car and I turn around and this lady walks out of her car with 2 puppies. And then they're doing a puppy sale. They're doing a puppy deal in the middle of the CVS parking lot. But me, like, I don't know how or why, but like I knew like, I was like, I knew that there was something that I needed to pay attention to. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I am literally just psychic, but for puppies and dogs. I have like, what is it? A puppy ESP? Does that bring a new meaning to the P if it's with puppies? Is it ESPP? Or ES puppy?
I don't know.
We're rebranding it.
Yeah, trademarked and done. And so, as someone who's been here pre-pandemic and as someone who's been here post-pandemic, what's kind of the differences? Because you were here when Dennis was alive. Mm-hmm. You were here afterwards, all the way up until we basically closed, like right before. And then,
gosh, I've been here for a while.
And then you came back a little bit after we reopened.
So it was 2 years, almost to the day, because we had our St. Patrick's Day party.
Yep.
And then I remember there were people who did, like, because it was right when Corona was kind of becoming a thing. So there were people who didn't want to come out of their rooms and like join the party. And people were already kind of making like moves to go back and like see their family.
Yep.
Be back at, like wherever, where they were before they got here, I guess. But people were starting to kind of figure that stuff out. But what was crazy is that, and what I think. Oh, you were there because you let me into the room.
Yep.
Yeah. So James and I went back to Love, and I had paid the housekeeping gal at the time to pack up my room because it's something that they used to do for us.
Yeah.
We would leave or whatever, and I was only planning on being gone for like a week or two. I think we all were, and 2 years later, but it was like a time capsule because she didn't wind up packing up my room. Everything was exactly the way that I had left it. Even the clothes, actually, that I was wearing at the St. Patrick's Day party were
still
on
there.
top of my
Yeah.
laundry hamper. That was wild.
Yeah, because I think shortly after you left, literally everyone was told, unfortunately, we're going to be closing. First we said reduce to minimal staff because we were reducing everything. And then hours later, after the governor spoke again, we said, unfortunately, we're going to have to close. So we're keeping only the staff that can maintain the buildings, just so that way no one breaks in. And then we're going to prep everything. So literally, when that happened, we prepped everything. We were cleaning everything, like scrubbing everywhere. Like you should have seen us with masks and gloves, cleaning everything in the building.
We were the only place with toilet paper.
Yeah. No, actually, ironically, we did not have that much left because when we did pull it all, it was like we were like, oh shit. Well, we really don't have that much as we thought we did because we just had a huge event, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, and then
we
all
had
the girls probably stole the toilet paper rolls when they were leaving too.
Well, but all 4 properties were completely filled with girls, with guests, with staff. So, I mean, obviously, toilet paper would run out, paper towels would run out, cleaning supplies eventually ran out. I mean, so
it was inevitable, I think.
Yeah.
But, and it happened to all of us, even in our own lives.
Oh yeah, no, I did too.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we all did. I mean, I had my aunt bought some and then gave me some because she'd buy like giant packs of it.
Yeah.
I watched some guy get beat up at Save Mart in Carson over toilet paper because he came out and they were literally pushing his cart and they just got an order in, right?
Yeah.
And I was going home because I used to live out that direction before. And I saw this guy literally pushing a cart, and I was just pulling into Save Mart to go get some things at the grocery store. I was like, oh, they have toilet paper. I might as well buy some, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm getting out of my car, and I watched this other guy just walk up and literally deck the guy who has a shopping cart who paid for the toilet paper, and he lifts the toilet paper and gets up, and the other guy, I mean...
What do you do at that point? Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
the guy who literally decked him was like an older gentleman who like walked up and just punched him. Like out of nowhere. He just came out of the parking lot just like normally we all would come in the grocery store. The other guy gets up and they start beating each other up, and employees are coming out trying to stop it all. I mean, it was like, that's over toilet paper.
yeah, the pandemic was absolutely...
I've seen that over video game consoles before. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've done, like I used to work retail, so I saw
Walmart
like,
at Black Friday ain't got nothing on Corona when it was
I worked
toilet
at
paper.
Best Buy at Black Friday before they had like the structured things where they would just open the doors and let people run in. Oh, those were crazy times.
Oh my God.
Like, because there was no ticketing numbers, no nothing. You just open the doors and people just rush in, and whoever got to it first
That's scary.
wins. And
yeah.
I mean, that's what it reminded me of. I mean, people just beating each other up over toilet paper.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, at least I got toilet paper still. I'm like, because that was my answer. I'm like, I'm one person. I still have, but I'm like, I'm good. And then I go in there.
Fighting someone in the parking lot today.
I'm not struggling for this. I'm like, I even have like Kleenexes. I'm good.
Yeah.
Worst case.
So one time it's like it was a really good investment to have a bidet.
Yeah.
If you had one.
It's true. Actually, I have one now. So at my house, I do actually have one. But going back to that though, you had that time capsule, and it was all shut in because I mean, it was an emotional time when we walked into that building. Because I mean, I've been in that building multiple times even before I went there with you. Because I have to go in there with different crews, going in there with different to clean the building, to the Orkin people, to everything.
Yeah.
And other girls. Myself and Kim are usually the ones that go over there.
Yeah.
So like when you went in there and you were like I had never been in there when someone's grabbing all their stuff, because like most of the people had already moved all out.
They had done it much earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not 2 years later, like me.
Yeah, and then you'd come back and I was like, yeah, I'll go over there with you. It's fine. Open it up, and then like you were pulling things out, and I'm like, oh my God, that was from the party, because like I was there. Like I was in charge of like the entertainment side for the party. So I was like, we all had our costumes and our outfits and everything crazy. So
I had like a bunch of light up necklaces,
Yep.
like a boa and stuff. Actually, that boa is a nightmare because it still is like, it's funny because I've even like moved rooms in the house now at Sage a couple times, and I don't know why, but this green boa stuff is just still everywhere. Like it's
told you, it
haunting
never
me.
goes away.
Yeah, it's like glitter.
I hate
Like-
I hate those boas. It's like you can always, even to this day, there's feathers in my hallway and throughout these Aldi buildings because of all the old live stream days when the girls would come in with like stupid boas and the feathers would drop off and then they blow into a corner and no matter how much cleaning,
No, you can't.
somehow there's still a
it's like
freaking
'cause
feather.
they float away.
Yeah, there's a feather in a corner somewhere. There's a feather under a box or a feather in a piece of paper somewhere, right? So
You wake up, you've got feathers behind your ears.
yeah. I woke up and there was feathers in my house. I'd be worried where the hell the feathers came from at this point because I have foam pillows.
Okay, that's That's,
Yeah, I'd be like a little odd. I'm like,
like, who's here?
where the hell's the feathers come from? What kind of party did I have?
Yeah. It is. I was so stoked actually to come back. I was originally calling actually just to get my furniture
Yeah.
out because I still have my furniture over at
Yep.
Love. But I'll be moving that, at the end of summer and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I was,
Once it cools down.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
But, and also too, I mean, like moving, it's going to be a hassle. I'd rather put it off as long as possible.
No.
Like,
yeah.
you're going to have to help me probably. So
Probably.
yeah, it's, so yeah, we'll put that off another day.
Once it gets cooler.
Yeah, and we don't. Yeah, we're gonna be heaving and hoeing over there, but not really hoeing. That was a bad joke. Never mind.
I mean, it could be. I don't know.
But Love's not open yet. So, but I was stoked. Serena asked me if I wanted to come back, and I was like, it's funny because I was driving, and like I said, I was just coordinating with her about my furniture. So she calls
Yeah.
me, and I think it was that Tuesday or that Wednesday before St. Patrick's Day this year, and she's just like, well, do you want to come back? And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And so then I literally same day, she called me, and then I was here the same day because I was just living in Reno at the time.
Yeah.
So it very close, and yeah, I just came over, and then I just haven't really left now. Like now that I'm back, I'm like, you can't get rid of me. I'm here.
I mean, might as well stay.
No, it's awesome.
You gotta have some fun.
It's
And like Sage is a whole different type of vibe than like Love Ranch was. So especially, I mean, for one, you've grown up a little more, matured a little bit. I know you've said this a few times. Yeah. Well. But it's a different kind of thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not wild and crazy a lot because Sagebrush is a lot. It's literally a lot
It's
of people
so
don't know
laid
this.
back.
It's a lot of the center of our company. It like manages a lot of the stuff because all of our management team, we're all here. So you guys have a lot more that you guys are like, oh, you get to see all of us. You get to ask us questions. A little more professional environment than you guys get to see us like once every few days, maybe a week, sometimes 2 weeks.
When it was like, we would always know, I guess, like when management was coming
Yep.
over at Love.
Oh, yeah.
So it wasn't like a surprise, but it's like, it's so frequent now. That's actually a good point. I haven't
Yeah.
really thought about that too much, but I would say it is a lot more of a professional environment here. But it's really laid back at the same time. Like all of the girls, I think, are really like, we have such a good group. And that's so important. I mean, like having like really good camaraderie in the house
Yeah,
and everything.
that's true.
And just like even yesterday, a gentleman was kind enough to send me some money for us to get food on
Yeah.
Twitter. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to use this for the house. Because that's what, he sent it for, is for all of us to eat and have a good time. So we just sat down and we all ate Chinese food together. And then, especially at night shift too, it's harder to kind of get I think better food and stuff like that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I've covered a lot of that this year. I've covered a lot of night shift moments, and yeah, when you get that and especially because you guys are working even the staff 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Yeah.
You want lunch around 12
Yeah. I don't.
or 1 a.m. There's nothing in Carson City open.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit. So a lot of times when I came in at 7, 8 o'clock, I'm like, what are we ordering? let's go, guys.
I know
Figure
you
out
have to
what
be
we're-
like on it.
Yep.
That's
I'm like, what are we ordering? I don't care if we're gonna save it for later. Let's just figure out what we're ordering now, and that way we get it done by 9. Because like it
Otherwise
takes
it's
that
not
long.
coming, yeah.
Well, it takes that long for all the girls to figure out what they want.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, we're, including myself, we're all very picky.
Yeah.
And depending on who gets there first, and they're like, no, use this. No, I want this. Okay, well, you order your own shit.
I usually just I love that they started doing like the family packs, like the
yeah.
family meals. That's what we did last night. We just went to we did what is it called? Panda Express.
Yep.
And then we just did because they've got like the whole deal.
Yeah,
You
the
get
big giant thing.
entrees.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's just it's kind of nice because then everybody kind of there's a variety. It makes it a little easier. And sometimes I will get pizza, but that's a hard one. Pizza's a hard one because everybody wants different pizza.
Yep.
And
I like my Hawaiian pizza. I like my pineapple.
I do too. Oh my gosh, I was so mad though the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered a pizza, and it was Canadian bacon, pineapple, and mushrooms.
Yeah.
Because I love mushrooms. And they
yeah, mushrooms
forgot
are
the
good.
Canadian bacon, and I was like, that's like a big staple. That's not a little thing. Like, I mean,
I know it was funny the other night when I covered cashier last week. It was Justin and I. So I was the cashier, Justin was my bartender, and we ordered pizza together because we wanted pizza.
Yeah.
Actually, and Kiki ordered food too. She was the one who actually ordered it all. And then Justin and I both ordered very similar pizzas. He ordered a very similar, it has pineapple.
But
I ordered.
he does his with jalapenos.
Yes, I usually do too, but since he ordered his with jalapenos, I didn't order with jalapenos because we were swapping back and forth. Like we had slightly different orders because I've known him for a long time, so usually I can do that.
Yeah.
And then one of the girls comes up and she's like, "Oh, can I have a piece of pizza? Is this for everyone?" And I'm like, "No, we paid for it. It's ours. But yeah, you can have a piece of pizza." And she opens up my box and she's like, "Who puts pineapple?" And I'm like, "We both do." And she opens up the next box. She's like, "There's on both?" And I'm like, "Well, you don't have to have any of our pizza." I'm like, "I'm being nice, giving you a piece." And she goes, "Oh, it's okay." She's like, "I'll take some of this." And
she's like, I'm not crazy. I still want the pizza.
I'm like, geez. I'm like, over pineapple? I'm like,
I like pineapple.
I love pineapple.
I don't understand what the big,
It's a social media thing. So people like take that offense thinking, oh, it's bad to have pineapple on pizza. Stranger Things made a big joke about it because just recently they made a joke about it because they have a scene in the new season where she orders pineapple on pizza and Mike, the nerdy little boyfriend dude, he doesn't like pineapple. He won't eat it because he says it's bad. It's wrong to have fruit. And I'm like, tomatoes are fruit. It's the main ingredient of pizza. And I'm like sitting there, and then she's like literally giving it to him, and he has to eat it. And then even right before that, Umbrella Academy made a joke about it too, and they're both Netflix shows.
Yeah.
And they both do the same thing. They're like having pizza, and he has pineapple, and they're like, "Why would you do that?" And he's like, "Don't knock it till you try it." And he's just sitting here eating pineapple pizza. The other guy's like, "I'll starve," and he's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, that's literally what I would do. I'm
That's
like,
such a pineapple.
I'll starve. I'm like,
person
don't care.
Yeah,
don't care.
Okay.
You do whatever you want. I'll eat my pizza. But let's bring it back a little better, and let's go. Let's go with one final big question, right? Well, actually, one of two. So, tell me about a time like when you're either your wildest, craziest party, or just a party that stands out in general that was so moving to you, like because you've been here a long time over the years.
Yeah.
So what's something that really stands out in your mind that you really like that jumps to you? So we've heard almost not everything, but we've heard almost a lot of things. So
yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So and every girl's got a different take on things because no matter what side of the story they have, even if they do the same kind of party, totally different things happen. So
yeah, I think with me, I get a lot of people who honestly are a little bit less extreme than some of the other girls, like, you know, because sometimes you hear stories about like this or that, and then I usually don't get those. I get like a lot of people who I get a lot of people who want to lose their virginity, or maybe like they're coming back from, you know, some type of emotional stuff and they're trying to kind of like rekindle their sex life, and they you know, need like a jump starter. And yeah, I'd say a specific one, I've had a lot of people who have had like panic attacks and stuff. I've had a lot of people who have like, you know, like they're just like shaking. I
could see that.
Yeah. And I I can't imagine what it's like for a gentleman to like come in here and actually like, you know, do all this. I imagine it's very nerve-wracking because like that's generally what we see is like we see the other side of it. It's nerve-wracking for us too in a different way, but like we're always comfortable because it's our own space and everything, and yeah, sometimes people come in and they're just a wreck. You know, they just need a little extra time and hugs, and it's really just hugs usually. They just need a lot of hugging. Okay. Yeah, like we just kind of hold him for a minute and we're like, you're fine, I'm little, I can't hurt you that bad. What is it that Jan used to always say? She'd be like, they only bite if you pay them to. That's
true, yeah. That is something that is true. It's only part of that if you want it as part of your experience.
Yeah,
that's what you do.
But also too, I don't know, like it's a little different coming back. I did have so many other parties before when I was over at Love that were like, you know, they still are like ingrained in like, you know, my brain. I'll remember them forever. But I'd say like lately, just with Sage, I think more of my life has really just been getting to know all of the girls and like, you know, just like rekindling like those friendships too. Yeah. Like seeing Destiny and seeing like Kiki and seeing some of these people after so long and to be all mixed into one building too, because it's not just Sagebrush girls these days. It's Sage, Love, Kit Kat were mixed in. Yeah. We reopened. Some bunnies even came. Then vice versa for BunnyRanch, it was the same aspect because we mixed everyone, including staff, everywhere. So that way, it's not just one. It's not just multiple cultures. It's all one BunnyRanch culture or Sagebrush culture, anything like that. We're all together under Madame Suzette's red light. Yeah, make it a little easier for us. Yeah, it's there's still two different things. Yeah. Well, it was cool too because we had Mia Moore come over from Bunny over to Sage, and oddly enough, for like the longest time, I think we both thought that we didn't really like each other. And so like, I think like we kind of wound up not liking each other a little bit because like we had it like in both of our heads that we like weren't pals. And then she came over here and we just like, literally we had like one conversation. We were like, oh yeah. We're silly. Yeah, she's pretty chill. Now she's like one of my faves. Like, you know, she helped me blow up balloons. Like, if you help me with balloon work, we're friends for life. That's just like a staple. So it is cool to have kind of like that melting pot of culture now. Because everything was at one point, it was very separate. You know, you just, you get caught up in your house and then you just love your house so much that you're like, these other houses are second to our house. But really at the end of the day, it's we're all the same company and we're constantly moving around. And you know, like I went over to Kit Kat the other day because it was one of our cashier's birthdays. It's right before mine, and it was nice. Like I got to like see like Kamisha and everybody. Well, it's been a pleasure though. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for waiting for me to wake up. But how does someone get a hold of you? We're going to bring that age-old question back. I've kept that tradition of the live stream still alive, right? I asked that one question still. I had to practice it in my shower before I was getting ready. You can contact me at juniperjones@sagebrushranch.com. That's email, and I have been doing a lot better at getting back on my probably emails. Pop up somewhere under her somewhere. Probably multiple times. Just like around my head. It'll be on the ground. It'll be under you. It'll be somewhere there. It'll also be in the descriptions. Oh, okay, perfect. And then on Twitter, Juniper D Jones. I'm pretty sure it's just at Juniper D Jones. It's your Twitter. Well, I mean, email me. I'm sure if you go to Twitter and if you go to Sagebrush Ranch, you can find her there. Yeah. You'll find it there as well. So thank you. Thank you so much. This has been fun. Thank you. So make sure, guys, if you do want to contact her, make sure you do email. Email is the best option because email is pretty quick with us. We do usually respond really fast. Thank you again, everyone, for having a beautiful second season so far with the BunnyRanch podcast. Woo! And make sure, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and all the 5 billion other versions of it. But anyways, make sure you do listen to all of them on there because we've still been top trending, even though we did take a small hiatus. So make sure you guys do check that out. And if you have any questions, email, contact any of us, and have a great day, everyone.
Bye. And